You're listening to the All Elite Podcast, your favorite AEW fan podcast for in-depth analysis and discussions about the #1 growing brand in professional wrestling today, All Elite Wrestling. This podcast is broadcasted live on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch on behalf of the No Holds Barred Network. The network is your source for wrestling interviews and podcast content featuring independent wrestling and AEW. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So sit back, relax, and interact in the live chat. Enjoy the show.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the All Elite Podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network. We are your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I am your host of the All Elite Podcast, as always. My name is Kyle Masters, and I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the queen of the indies herself. That's Tiffany. And today for the Revolution's Predictions panel, we are joined by a third. Yes, the rotating door of guests on this podcast is swinging away. And this is a long time coming, folks. We have my boy, my pal, my good friend, Samster, whatever. Sam, that's the first thing I need to ask you. What do you want me to call you?
You could actually call me Samster, Sammy, Sam, whatever you want. I mean, I actually, every time I tweet, people call me by different names, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Okay, so I'm going to call you Sammy Samster, Sammy Guevara. No, I mean, just Sam.
Oh, wow.
Don't want to get you mixed up with another Sam. But
That
Sam,
guy.
welcome to the All Elite Podcast. Thank you for joining us for the Revolution Predictions episode. Like I said, this has been a long time coming. Been chatting a lot on Twitter. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, my pleasure. So I actually made that comment under the post saying that it's great that you're allowing guests, and you actually reached out to me immediately, which I thought it was awesome. So yeah, this has been a long time coming, and I'm happy to be here.
I knew as soon as I put that post, I'm like, hey, you know what? Gotta message Sammy because I need him on as the first one. So we're gonna have more as the door continues to revolve once in a while. But sometimes it'll just be me and Tiff, but that's all right. Me and Tiff are fun too, I think.
Ew. Like, ew. I don't know if I like the sound of like the revolving door because like I think like corporate wise and it's like, you know, like when you get like hired and then they're like, oh, that seat's been a revolving door. And
Tiff's
it's like,
putting her EVP shoes on here.
oh, like, okay, so what is wrong with this position? So that's what I feel like. Am I gonna get like booted out off the All Elite Podcast? Because
No,
that's
I
what
won't do
feel
that.
like right now.
I won't do that. Sam, we'll talk later, but I won't do that.
Hey, you see, between our boy Rob and Bill, like what the heck, man? Fine, that I will just focus on what's it called? I'll just focus on the indie side then.
No, I'm not replacing you, Tiff. You're irreplaceable, okay?
Oh, okay, thank you.
Anyways, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. This is usually where myself and Tiff talk about everything in the AEW world. We cover Dark. We cover Dynamite. We even cover BTE because if you're not watching BTE, I don't know what you're doing with your life because BTE is the greatest YouTube show on the planet right now, and it keeps you up to date with stuff that goes on in AEW, and we got you all that covered on this show. But today, most importantly, we're here to predict AEW Revolution, this Sunday's massive pay-per-view, as we just got more of a build-up this week with Dynamite Insane, because we're going to briefly talk about Dynamite 2 in a bit here before we get into the predictions. But first things first, I did mention it on Twitter that we will be doing a Revolution contest, and I'm going to announce how you guys can enter it. Very, very simple contest. We have two prizes. The first prize is going to be a $30 AEW or Shop AEW gift card. Which is going to help right now. It's going to help a lot right now, too. I mean, I hope they at least get it out to you guys before the sale ends. If I can get that out to you guys before the sale ends, you guys can actually score on some really good merch with that $30 gift card. That'll be the first prize. The second prize will be a shirt from our merch store. It's Thursday. You know what that means, t-shirt of the All Elite podcast. So that'll be the second prize we give away. Very simple. So when this podcast is done, it's done processing. It's out on audio platform. I usually send out a tweet saying that it's available on video and audio. That tweet in particular, and I'll put annotations on it so you guys know which one it is. It'll be pinned to the AEP Twitter account. All you have to do is like and retweet it, and you're automatically entered into the contest. I want to do a better contest. I couldn't get what I was trying to do set up in time. I'm going to hopefully get it done by Double or Nothing. Because it's a really cool program. I found it and found through a buddy of mine, and I'm going to try to get that out to you guys. But for now, just like and retweet that tweet, and you'll be automatically entered. I'll do a random draw, like a live video like I did last time for the last giveaway, and we'll give away both those items. So the first draw will be for the gift card. The second draw will be for the t-shirt. So, yeah. So, guys, look out for that. So we'll talk about Dynamite very quickly here. This was a very, very good go-home show. I thought last week was really good, and I said it last week's podcast that I honestly thought that was a go-home show because that felt like a go-home show. Everything they did last week, it was incredible. This week, they kind of matched it, basically. It was so good, and they opened up very, very, they had me on the edge of my seat from the beginning of Dynamite. Usually, I'm sitting back and relaxing while I'm watching the show, but I'm like, okay, I have to, my eyes were glued with the whole Shaq thing, and that was so much fun. I had a great time watching that match. Shaq was a lot more than I expected we got out of him, especially that table spot. I can't believe he took a freaking table spot, this guy. That was incredible.
I'm surprised we didn't see a whole bunch of memes all over social media today with him laying on the.
There actually was a bunch of memes all over.
What?
Because NBA Twitter was using it all over. There was SportsCenter and even ABC News was all up. I mean, basically the whole media was over it. So, but yeah. So, NBA Twitter is actually, you're familiar with them in AEW before, but they actually had good things to say about this one because it's Shaquille O'Neal, and that's where they want to. Yeah, they want to poke fun at something, but yeah, it was basically all the internet.
It was funny. I saw a couple of great ones. The one is the still picture where he's lying on the ground and he looks dead with all the broken table pieces behind. That was just so good. And that video got retweeted by so many different analysts. So this was such a good, if you can call it a publicity stunt kind of thing for AEW because they got attention across a lot of platforms. I saw People Magazine today freaking tweeting about them. I'm like, damn, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a great thing. And the match itself, all of it included, can we talk about Jade and Red Velvet right now? I'm for a debut of her actually wrestling, and was oh, okay, I see you. Never mind the fact that her makeup was on point. She looked beautiful. Shout out to Queen of NE, #wrestling fashion, right? Oh my God. And then Red Velvet is a damn star in the making. We need more. Definitely.
It's actually great because the match wasn't as bad as I expected it to be because I had low expectations going into this match, but Shaq, especially him, he surprised me, but I was more impressed with Jade and Velvet because let me tell you something for sure. Those two look like stars and they're definitely going to go very far in AEW. And Jade, I can definitely see Jade winning the women's title maybe a year down the line or two, but she definitely has the most potential out of all the women in AEW. It's she has she basically has it all. She from the in-ring work to the mic stuff and just basically everything. And I really think that she will be one of the first big stars for AEW. And it's gonna be spectacular to see.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna eat my words because I said it last week. I said it on this podcast. Tiff remembers that I wasn't sold on Jade Cargill. I was gonna wait until I give my full opinion on her after this match, and I'm eating my words. I said I would. I'm eating my words live on the podcast right now for you guys. I was extremely impressed by Jade Cargill. That was a very, very great opening first match of your career. They both look good. Even Red Velvet, I tweeted out, I'm like, man, put Red Velvet in more matches, like Toot Sweet. Like, I need to see more of Red Velvet because she also had a really good showing. So this whole opening contest was fantastic. A awesome way to open Dynamite. Interesting placement. I thought that would probably go on like the middle or near the end. Never thought it would open the show, but it got everybody's attention because they killed it in the ratings after that. They got like almost 1 million in views, which is incredible. So,
but
good
even
on
like Shaq's like tribute to Brody Lee with the
yeah.
like I was like, this is awesome.
I can't believe he did a power bomb.
Why not?
I didn't think
but he was actually training a lot in the Nightmare Factory before this match, and many people out there thought there was no preparation before, but that definitely was. He was training with Jade a lot in the Nightmare Factory, so he actually did quite well for our first match.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did great.
That's dedication right there, man. Like, hey, it can't be worse than the 420 splash, right?
Oh my god, you're still calling it the 420 splash? I'm still calling it the puff puff splash, man. The puff puff splash is from Snoop Dogg it's still the greatest.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a great opener, and it like really got everybody talking. So unlike some other matches that we may see, like this was good. I enjoyed it.
As for the rest of Dynamite, it was fantastic. I had that. Just trying to go off at the top of my head because I didn't write my notes for Dynamite like I usually do because I just wanted to skim through it. But the MJF and Jericho thing with the open questionnaire thing was cool. They had the two guys from Barstool Sports there, which I was
Conrad Thompson.
Yeah, Conrad Thompson. I was like, oh, okay. There's a name, and they kind of ripped them apart, calling them turkey tits, and poor guy. He just got ripped apart by MJF and Jericho, which in hindsight here and behind the curtain, he's loving it, right? Like, who wouldn't want to go up there and get ripped apart by those guys? Like, that's amazing.
I definitely take an insult from MJF as an
right. Don't be like that kid that cried and his dad complained about it.
Oh
yeah, because this was actually last year. I think it was like. No, this was like this week of like last year. They did C2E2, like all the AEW people were there, and there was MJF doing a meet and greet, and this guy went to meet him, and so when they were trying to take the picture, MJF just flipped off the kid, and then the kid just walked off crying, and they got all pissed about it. Even TMZ covered that as well.
Wow.
MJF was just doing his part there. It was great.
Everything Pro Wrestling, Conrad, shout out to you. Go check his channel out. He said, "Is this the end of Shaq wrestling?"
Because that was weird. Why did they do like an Undertaker moment here? Why did they have Shaq in the ambulance, cut back, and then cut back again, open the door, and he's gone? Like, how do you lose a 7'5" guy? He doesn't just hide behind the bush, and it's like, oh, where'd Shaq go? That doesn't happen. Where'd he go?
So maybe he'll show up on the pay-per-view.
I don't know. I didn't know what to think of
something. That. We gotta have a continuation.
It confused me. I was happy until I'm like, oh, why the hell did they just make Shaq disappear?
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Did you see when they were closing the door?
Yeah.
When he had to,
unless if they're bringing in the Undertaker for some sort of appearance, and I guess that makes sense, but nobody knows for sure. But as for me, I don't know. Maybe we might see another match down the road, but I'm not sure who it might be against. But
there's only one guy I want to see him face down the road because now AEW has the finger to pull the trigger on it, and that's Paul White. That's the only guy that I want to see them go at it because they were supposed to fight each other at WrestleMania and it never got pulled. Now AEW can be the ones who be like, okay, we'll give the fans what they want. We'll make them see it. They'll do like a special Dynamite episode, like one of the Fight for the Fallens or Fighter Fest, one of those like special Dynamites, and you have Paul White and Big Show just go at it. It'll be you can say Haas fight and a half between those two, but I'd love to see it. Anyways, other than that, Dynamite, again, I keep saying it was still great. They did the whole, like even during that segment with MJF and Jericho, they had like the Bucks come out and then, sticking up for their dad. And I have actually an interesting prediction with Papa Buck, which we'll get to the predictions, but that was pretty cool. They had the finals of the women's tournament with Nyla Rose and Ryo Mizunami, which with Ryo actually moving on in the tournament and now facing Hikaru Shida in the finals. I'm going to say my opinions for the predictions, because that kind of ties into that. Other than that, I'm trying to think what else happened on Dynamite this week.
We had a quick match with Phoenix and Pac.
Yeah, that was very quick.
Yeah. It was nice to see like Pac again, and on TV. We need more.
We also had 10 and Max Caster for the ladder match qualifier. And I do love Max Caster though. I wanted him to win this match, and everybody else betted against me that he wouldn't. They thought 10 was gonna win, but see, I told you Caster was gonna pull it off.
See, they kind of need to do something with him, because now I found out today that Anthony Bowens is hurt, so Max is going to be riding solo for a bit. So it's just going to be him coming out doing his rap game. So I'm kind of glad that they had him go on too. I thought 10 for sure though, but kind of sucks that Bowens is hurt. I didn't really see how long he's going to be out for. Hopefully it's not too long. But Max Caster getting his way into that ladder match, and then we don't know the sixth participant, because we will know on Sunday. It's being kept as a surprise. And I also read it's only Tony Khan is the only one that knows who that is in that ladder match. Apparently nobody else knows who it is. So I'm intrigued to see who it is, which I'll get into my predictions as who I think it is. And it's not what you think. I'm going to pull a Paul White here. It's not who you think it is.
Yeah.
Which we had that. So Paul White came out, and I mean, I kind of wanted to save that for the predictions though, because that kind of has to do with the predictions. So we won't talk about that.
They want to talk about Tully wrestling.
About what?
In the chat. They want to talk about Tully wrestling in the chat.
Oh, Tully. I thought you said Telly, and I'm like, the Telly's wrestling?
The Tubby Telly.
Oh, man.
No, but the sun isn't up this time. It's actually nighttime here. So
that damn sun. I actually saw an article, was it last year, of the where is the sun now? Like, what do they look like? And I'm like, man, it's like, I mean, it's so hard to like put two and two together. You can't match it up to the baby sun, and oh yeah, that's definitely what that person looks like now, because they're a freaking baby.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, but can you imagine being that person and be like, oh yeah, remember that baby in Teletubbies? That was me.
Okay.
Anybody could say that though.
We're spending way too much time
on
this.
Okay. On Teletubbies, yeah. We gotta talk about Tully. Talk about Tully and God, my boy Sean Spears, not your zone, my hometown hero, coming back.
Like, for weeks he's been talking about Sean Spears like appearing. So like the minute I saw it, like I was like, who the hell is this? And then I was like, Kyle is probably so excited. I watched this after, so I was like, Kyle must have been hyped as fuck.
This chair I'm sitting, I was watching Dynamite here. I jumped out of my chair and did the whole like fist bump thing. I was so ecstatic for him to be there. You guys have no idea. If you guys don't know and you're new here, I'm a massive Sean Spears fan. I've literally followed this guy his entire career, even before WWE. Like, I was watching him in high school gyms in this city before he even made it to the WWE. Like, I'm talking like the Stan days when he was the guy holding the papers and Shawn Michaels kicked him in the chin.
Right.
Like, I was following Sean Spears then. Like, I'm his biggest fan.
Gilroy's like, Kyle got Spears and Tiff got Snow. It was a great night.
Oh, the snow.
That was funny because I was staying off of social media because I wasn't home last night. And then I saw the tweet by Kyle and he sends me like a gif of like, Macaulay Culkin in the snow and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, more snow.
But yeah,
you would have to assume Sting was coming out that night, but yeah, I'm glad to see Sean Spears back. And you know what? Actually, another story. So my friend he actually jumped out of his seat last night too, because actually Sean Spears actually trained him. So and he was able to give me some feedback on Sean. He's a great guy overall, and just nothing negative about him.
Yeah,
it's just like he's just a great guy in general. But yeah, definitely excited to see him back. And I actually. So when everybody was talking about Dynamite last night, that was a thing that somebody missed. Well, a lot of people missed it, but I'll get to that later on when we do the predictions. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what he does with FTR.
See, I met Sean Spears a couple of times. One See, I met him a long, long time ago, and then the next time I met him was at WrestleMania 34 Access. I drove down to New Orleans for that weekend, and I met him there. I had a sign that said I drove whatever it was in kilometers, because we use kilometers up here, to see Ty Dillinger. He saw me way in the back of the line for his autograph thing, and then he's like, I was waiting for you to come up here because I saw your sign and I wanted to see it. The guy pulled out his own personal phone and got a picture of us together with it as well on top of the picture for Access that I got. So it was such a cool moment. So fast forward to Full Gear of 2019, when me and Tiff went down to Baltimore for that. We went to, was it the Starcast? I'm like, hey, I got to meet Sean Spears, and I got to make him the exact same sign, but it's going to say Sean Spears. And I drew a chair with his logo on it. And I went up to him. He looked at the sign. He's like, I know you. He's like, I met you before. I'm like, didn't you have a sign like this before? And I'm like, I told him the WrestleMania story. He's like, I knew that was you. Like, he remembered me. So that was such a cool moment. I talked to him for a bit, and guy is such a cool guy. But anyways, too much about Sean Spears here. The whole thing with J.J. Dillon coming out in the Four Horsemen tees, Tully Wrestling, that was incredible. I didn't think he had that much in him. That was like way more than I thought. It was such a good match. I tweeted out, FTR and Jungle Express, these two teams could fight each other every week, and I would not care. They just put on like good match after good match after good match. Like, these guys are perfect. They have that chemistry. But J.J. Dillon coming out, and then Sean Spears, and the Four Horsemen tees with Arn coming out and doing the 4 thing in the tunnel, and I'm like, okay, they got Sean Spears, they got FTR. Who is Cody the 4th? Are we getting the New Age Horsemen? Like, what's happening here? Or is that just Tully coming out for the sake of, Arn coming out because of the history they all have?
You know what? I actually wanted to bring that up because I thought we'll save it for later, but you know what? We're doing it now. So somebody tweeted out last night that everybody was focused on like what was going on in Dynamite, and a lot of people miss the Four Horsemen tees, and that's going to be that was with Spears and FTR. And now others speculated that who's going to be the 4th man, but we don't know for sure. So people say Cody, somebody else, but it's got to be somebody. And if you're aware, they've been doing more teases even before this, even going back to like, I think it started in like mid 2020 or something. So it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see how that story unfolds. And if we get a New Age Horseman story, I'm all for it. The rest of Dynamite was great. I mean, we had even the main event with Matt Hardy and your boy Quen's back. And they mentioned a commentary, Tiff. Do you see Quen has been getting a little bulky there? He's been hitting the weights.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yep. And he faced off against Hangman and John Silver, Johnny Hungy. In a great main event. So, again, really good episode of Dynamite. It got us hyped for the pay-per-view. There's so much talk about this pay-per-view this week, and it's great. And it's only been a day after Dynamite, and there's so much excitement for this pay-per-view. And we still have another damn 2 days before we get there. But we'll get there. And until we get there, here we go, guys. We're here for the Revolution predictions, and we're going to get right into it without any more hesitation. We'll start off, and I didn't do these in any particular order. I kind of just picked them off and put them in an order, but I did start with the buy-in.
Okay.
So we have a buy-in match. Thunder Rosa and Riho, we call her Riho here, but Riho will face off against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Reba, but according to Tony today on Unrestricted Podcast, it's Rebel for sure. And to stop calling her Reba. So I guess it's Rebel.
Yeah.
But I know Britt's going to call her Reba anyways. The thing with this one is, though, it was said on Dynamite that Reba is injured and she's trying to petition her way out of this match. I don't know if this has any significance on the match itself. It would be great because if there's a secret mystery partner for Britt Baker, that's how you get people to buy the pay-per-view. You get a surprise into the buy-in and get people watching to buy the pay-per-view. Yes. So Britt has also said, it was also said on Dynamite that Britt wants the option to choose her replacement. So they don't just make mention of this if they're not going to do anything with it. So something's going to happen. I don't believe Reba or Rebel, whatever she's going to be called, is going to wrestle. I want to know who her opponent is, who her new partner is. I'm going to say it's probably going to be Nyla Rose. because it looks like they're just kind of featuring everybody that's been in this tournament in this match. And it should be a good match regardless, even if there's not a mystery opponent, or a mystery partner. It's going to be showcasing the best of this division. You have Thunder Rosa, Riho, Britt Baker, even Rebel we know is a good wrestler. People have seen her in the past.
Right.
You know, obviously, she's been more of a manager in AEW, but if it's Nyla replacing her, we know Nyla is a great wrestler. So basically, you know, the key people in this division. I think Thunder Rosa and Riho will be some great chemistry. That'll be interesting. I want to see how those two work out. But my prediction is it's going to be Britt Baker taking it in this match. I think Britt Baker, who is supposed to win the tournament, is going to get the rub here and get the W. And whether it be with Reba or Rebel or her replacement, I still think Britt's going to take the W. So, Tiffany, what do you got for us?
It's funny because, like, talking with a lot of people, and this is what makes it, but that's the nice thing about AEW. You can throw a bunch of ideas, and a lot of people in the chat are talking about Deonna being in this with the whole the crossover with Impact. And I've seen Deonna like tweet at it that she wants like in with like AEW, which would be very interesting to see with her and Britt Baker together if that's the case. Obviously, we have unfinished business between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. Me personally, see, this is what was confusing the hell out of me because then it started interfering with my thought process.
In the buy-in already.
I know, but again, like I feel like everything has to do with everything else. So if the way that like one match is like how it ends, it could affect like another match. And I'm thinking about like the women's title and who's gonna take the belt off of Shida, and I'm like, is Rhea gonna take the belt off of her? But I really feel like Britt Baker should be the one that takes it off of her, with how their women's division is going. But I feel like the way that this is going, I think we're going to go into another feud after this tag team match with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. So I don't think that's the timing yet. But I think Thunder Rosa and Rio are going to take this, actually.
Okay. All right. That's great prediction. Now, on to our the revolving door guest today, Sammy Samster. What do you got for us?
So this is actually a pretty interesting match to say the least, but if Rebel is indeed not going to wrestle, then I wonder who Britt's new partner would be. But I am interested to see how Thunder Rosa and Riho will do together as a team, because it's pretty interesting to me because they had a really good match from the women's tournament, and that's a match that should have been on national TV, and I'm pretty sure everybody would have tuned in to see it. But if Rebel is not going to wrestle, then why not bring over Deonna Purrazzo from Impact? Because Britt and Deonna have been tweeting at each other. Like, Deonna's always asking, when is the Forbidden Door going to open to the women's division? When can knockouts come to AEW Dynamite? And when the AEW women's division come to Impact? And maybe it could start at Revolution, and maybe it could be in this match, because if Deonna and Britt do indeed team up, then they're going to be the ones to take the win here, because it will set up some pretty interesting stories, because it could go one way or another. So Baker will finish off her feud with Rosa, and who knows, maybe Deonna could stick around for a couple of feuds, because the division could really need that. And it would be pretty interesting, because even Deonna has said that she wants to be in an AEW ring, and this would definitely be a good way to introduce her to the audience. And it's only going to impact the pay-per-view buys, because you're going to want the audience to know there's going to be more surprises coming in, so they're going to want you to buy the pay-per-view, and this would be a great first surprise of the night.
I definitely agree with that. I want that revolving door open as well, so girls like her, what's her name? Oh my God, how am I forgetting her name? Is it Jordan Grace? God, I can't believe I forgot her name. Like just more women from Impact crossing over, and then even vice versa. Maybe we'll see like a big Swole over there, or Nyla Rose show up for a match over there. Like do the crossover. Like the revolving door is not just for the men and not just for New Japan Pro Wrestling. We've been working with Impact for a couple of months now. Like, when I agree with that. When are we going to see this revolving door with this women? I think this is going to be the catalyst for it. This is going to be the start of that, pun intended, revolution for the women. And if it's Purrazzo, man, that's going to be a great buy-in match. And it's going to be a great buy-in match. So I'm going with Baker and either Reba or replacement. Tiff's going with Thunder Rosa and Rihu, and Sam is sticking with also Britt Baker and her partner of choosing, whoever it may be. So we'll move on here, and we'll talk about the tag team match between Miro and Kip Sabian facing off against Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor, Chucky T. This might be actually the only match that, don't guys take this the wrong way, but this is probably one of the only matches where I'm not really that excited. Like I'm excited for it, but it's going to be the match I'm the least excited for. The only thing that excites me is hopefully this is going to be the end of Miro with Kip Sabian. I think they need to separate. That's got to happen now. He's been sticking around too long. There still should be a great match, though, with lots of talent in this match, especially when you got two guys like Orange Cassidy and Chucky T. We know what they're about. We know what Kip's about, and Miro is an exceptional piece of talent. So you got a lot of talent in this match to still create a great tag team match, especially that it's on the main card and not the buy-in, so that's you know we're set up for a good match as it is. It's actually supposed to open up the pay-per-view. So if this match is opening up the pay-per-view, you know it's going to be something to get us excited for, because they mentioned it on Dynamite that this is going to open the show. Unless they change their minds, just taking it from what they said on Dynamite.
Actually, this match is not going to be opening the pay-per-view. Tony said
did change it
today that it's going to be the tag title match that's opening. That's MJF and Jericho.
Okay. So he did.
That's going to be opening
I
the
meant
pay-per-view.
to finish the podcast today. I didn't finish Tony's podcast today. I'm upset with myself.
I actually have an entire thread of what he said throughout the interview. It's actually up on my page, so if you want to check that out, you can. I actually did send it to you, and you said you were at work.
Yeah. See, I work here in my office, like at work, so I have two monitors here. So I have my work monitor going, and I had my predictions on the other, and I had my Spotify open, so I was listening. But then I had to take a few calls, so I turned it off, and I meant to go back to it, and it totally just skipped my mind. Again, like I said, should be a great match. Lots of talent. He still might be injured, but I'm wondering if we're gonna get a Trent appearance of some sort in this match, because he's kind of been MIA for a bit. Yeah, Tiff's
husband.
There. But just because I want to see Miro separate from this, I'm picking Orange Cassidy and Chucky T to go over in that match, and we'll see what happens. But I really want Miro to separate from that. But I have also a prediction with Miro, which we'll get into later. So I will keep it at that. So we'll turn it over to Sam this time. Sammy, what do you got for us in this match?
I'll actually go off with your point on this one, because this is the match I am not very excited for, because this entire storyline's been like, it's a little bit lackluster, and a lot of people are saying this is the worst story on Dynamite right now, and it probably is, considering how Miro has been doing, and everybody wants him to like be the monster that everybody knew he was in WWE. But I would definitely say that Cassidy and Chucky T should go over in this match, all because I just want to see Miro on his own. And who knows, maybe on the next Dynamite, they could have Kip and Miro backstage, and then Miro like attacks him during the interview and just fully turns on him, and Miro can, you know what, they can have a match the next week, and then Miro can squash him in a couple seconds, and that will give him a resurgence. So I'm gonna go with Cassidy and Chucky T here to start all that.
All right, you're gonna love my prediction with Miro later, because I have a big, interesting prediction with him, and it might put the wheels in motion to get him on that top spot.
I feel like I know where you're going with this, because people are already talking about it in the chat, and I feel like I like the same way, in the sense that this feud just needs to end.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just one of those things that I just don't care, and I get it. We can't put it in buy-in. It's probably not, it wouldn't get the pay-per-view buys, and it's such a shame, because I love Best Friends. And I'm sad that like Trent's not here. I'm very upset. I need husband, but Orange Cassidy and Chucky's so good. So I have them winning over there too. But I've seen, because a lot of people are saying in the chat that just to get Miro out of there, put him in the damn ladder match. So
okay, we'll stop it there, because I have a prediction with that.
So okay.
Because I love my prediction.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say now, but I love my predictions.
All right. Okay, so go ahead.
No, that was a good pick. I was just gonna say that again, yeah, like you said, it's not gonna buy your pay-per-view. So you're not putting that in your buy-in. That's most likely now going to be me knowing it's not going to be the opening contest. Is assured probably to be a cool down match of some sort after whatever match that they need a cool down match with. So we'll see what happens. But again, hopefully this is the end of it. We'll move on now to the Casino Tag Team Battle Royale. And a very, very interesting type of matchup here, because we've seen Casino Battle Royales in AEW before. This one is a very interesting concept. We have Bear Country, Silver and Reynolds, Uno and Grayson. So Dark Order's got 4 guys into this in this Battle Royal. We got Proud and Powerful, Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, and Top Flight. So a lot of great tag teams in this match. So the quick rundown of the match is as follows. The match will start with 2 teams, which will be decided by a lottery, with a new team entering every 90 seconds, so kind of like Royal Rumble style. Eliminations are done by going over the top rope and feet touching the floor. Teams are eliminated only after both members are thrown out, not just one. A lot of people do get confused with that. The match continues until one tag team or competitor is left, and the winner will receive a AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Sure to be a good match. I like the concept, Royal Rumble style tag team edition. Going to be interesting to see a lot of the teams in this, like with Top Flight. I know Bear Country has gained a lot of popularity. They've had popularity before they showed up on Dark. When they started showing up on Dark, I saw their popularity skyrocket. Now they're the talk of the town on Dark. Now they're getting their shot on pay-per-view like right away, which is great to see. And I'm assuming they're gonna have a really good showing in this match. I can't see them winning, but it'll be great to have a Bear Country showing. And if they can get over with the people that haven't, maybe the people that don't necessarily watch Dark, this could be a good showing for them. So I have a prediction with this one. I have a couple of tie-ins with my predictions. This match is going to tie into another match on the card, but I have Proud and Powerful going over in this match and winning the tag team title shot. A lot of you two are nodding your heads. A lot of people are not nodding their heads already. They know where I'm going with this.
Oh yeah, it's one of those tie-ins with the other. Yep.
It's funny. You both just nod your heads the same exact time.
And everybody in the chat's kind of for it too.
Yeah, so I think they deserve it. They deserve to win that. If they don't win, I'd like to see a team like Top Flight maybe get that opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Or even maybe Bear Country. But if they don't, it's sure to be Proud and Powerful for the win. So Tiff, you're probably thinking the same. But what else you got for this match?
Well, it's just one of those things. Like we could pick each team here, right? And we talk about this all the time. Like, and I say this all the time, especially with Ortiz and Santana. They're definitely one of my faves. They deserve the belt. They need a run. I hate the fact that they're kind of like crowded in the back pretty much with the inner circle. Obviously, like I feel like, I'm just going to go with it because I know you're holding back, but I'm not going to hold back. But obviously this affects the tag team titles, I feel like. So the question is if the inner circle wins, right? And now that it's opening up the show, right? So let's say the inner circle wins, right? Jericho and MJF win, then I just feel like it's a given that Proud and Powerful are going to win, and we're going to see that feud. But again, there's so many great tag teams in this. Like you said, like, obviously I love my boys Private Party. Bear Country is absolutely amazing, but I don't think like it's time yet for that shot. Pac and Phoenix, I would love also, but I'm sorry. I still feel like Pac needs to be in the freaking title picture. Not the tag team title picture, the title picture. But that's my opinion. That's what I want.
I did miss naming. I thought I wrote them down, and I did not. My bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So so I'm sticking with Santina.
Santina Marella.
Good night, guys. I go to bed. It's been a long couple of days. Sorry.
Santina's gonna come out now. Okay.
Santina's gonna come out in a dress and a wig.
I'm a Santina Marella. I'm going to win at the tag team battle royale.
I am going to win them.
I see Paul.
Yeah, he's gonna come out by himself. Like he's gonna have an imaginary partner, and he's gonna like, I'm wearing a wig, and then I'm down to the ring, and just
tell me not that you can't see like Ortiz doing something like that, like coming out in the dress with the wooden spoon.
Santina and Santino.
Meatball. Like,
It'll be Santino and Santina, both of them.
Yes, that's right. I confirmed that Santina is the big signing, guys. It's the Hall of Famer.
Your mixed tag team. There, yeah. He's the Hall of Famer. He's going to be the Hall of Famer, and he's going to be in the tag team battle royal. He's going to do double duty. That's Hall of Fame worthy right there. Santino Marella confirmed here on the All Elite podcast. Write it down. Anyways. As for that match,
shit.
Sammy, I'm assuming that you're going with Proud and Powerful as well, or maybe you have a different pick. What do you got?
Well, it's actually very interesting here because like there's so many teams in the match that that could win, but if we had to choose one team, like let's say this is the scenario, like it all depends on the opening match of the show. Let's say MJF and Jericho win,
right?
And it's pretty much a given that Proud and Powerful are going to win, and they're gonna get that title shot, which will fully disband the Inner Circle, or the Young Bucks could keep the belts and somebody else could win. Well, Proud and Powerful could win that match too, but let's say this, for example, why not have a team like the Butcher and the Blade go over in this battle royal, and maybe they can have a short little feud with the Bucks for the belts, because the Falls Count Anywhere match and the match they had in Ohio, those were actually two decent matches, and the Falls Count Anywhere match is actually one of my favorite Dynamite matches of all time, but and it's going to be pretty interesting. But I've told people this before, but let's say, for example, the Bucks keep the belts and Pac and Rey Fenix win the Battle Royal. And it's going to be, and I go with that because let's say, for example, Pentagon loses the ladder match and Pac is being generous here and he gives that shot to Pentagon Jr. and then we can have the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks again. So let the Lucha Bros go on a massive winning streak until they finally demand a shot at the titles and the Young Bucks accept. And then this could all tie in with the Good Brothers and stuff. And the Young Bucks can lose and the Lucha Bros can finally win the belts. Long overdue.
Overdue.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Proud and Powerful, but only because I will accept this on the one condition. Only if MJF and Jericho have a 3-day reign with the belts and it ends on either the Dynamite that week or the week after.
Okay.
Because it's got to be a short reign because you're going to have a lot of complaints that it's another makeshift team.
Yeah.
And that, since the tag team division has so much depth, but in my prediction, there's pretty much no reason for another makeshift team to win. But I'll put it like this. My mind will say MJF and Jericho, but my heart will say the Young Bucks because I'm pretty much indifferent on this match.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that. So it's like my question to you is because we go back to like the beginning of All Elite Wrestling and that they said the titles have to like, they want their titles like to mean something. So you think like if they wind up losing, right? To Jericho and MJF and lose it Wednesday, would it like upset anything? Do you think that will take away from the point of the, retaining the belts meaning something?
Maybe by a little bit, considering like, well, the only exception of pretty much, well, I don't know if you can even consider them a makeshift team, but Omega and Page, well, they were part of the Elite at the time, but I guess that counts. But I mean, to me, if you have a makeshift team as the champions, it kind of devalues like the entire like meaning of the tag team division. Because let's face it, the division is super stacked and it's probably the most stacked division in professional wrestling today. Right. And I feel like they should utilize that depth better because we should be seeing like more like team versus team matches on Dynamite instead of like these giant 10-man tag team matches because they mostly end up meaning nothing. But I mean, if you want to see, for example, Private Party versus Santana and Ortiz on Dynamite, let's say, then that will tell people that the tag team division has the talent and it has the teams that it just tells you that they deserve a run with the belts. And it tells the world that the Young Bucks fulfilled their promises. We will give you the best tag team division in the world. And as for MJF and Jericho, they've only been teaming up for a couple of weeks now, but it's going to be really interesting to see how people will react to it. But personally, I don't want them to win the belts because if they're going to lose, Sammy Guevara is going to have to cost them or another.
Right.
If they're going to lose, Sammy's going to cost them.
I'm feeling you on that exactly.
So we kind covered 2 matches there in one, so we won't need to go to that match. So for the tag team battle royal, we'll talk it. We're all that proud and powerful for the title belts, the tag team title belts. I kind of just quickly give my rundown of that match. Let me just scroll down here. This feud, I mean, it's been good. I haven't minded it. It's been good the last couple of weeks. I mean, it really wasn't clear what the picture was going to be, who the Bucks were facing beforehand. They're kind of doing their thing with Good Brothers and Kenny. There was that stuff going on between them. So there's kind of 2 stories going into this match. There's the story of the Bucks and the Good Brothers and the beef they got with them. Then you have the whole inner circle on the MJF and Jericho side. Like they're still trying to keep the glue together. And there's the whole thing with Sammy. And that's another thing too. Like Sammy, is he going to come in and interfere in this match? Is he going to make an appearance because he's kind of been MIA? And who's to say he doesn't show up? So will these stories play a factor in this match as well? This match will be a great match. Bucks will make MJF and Jericho look crazy good. It won't be as great as the Hangman and Kenny match from last year. That's still one of the greatest tag team matches I've ever seen. I do want to see Papa Buck show up, give us a super kick, get some revenge. That'd be great to see. Very entertaining. But I actually have MJF and Jericho going over in this match, and I think that's going to lead to my what I said with Proud and Powerful. It's going to lead to those 2 teams going at it. Proud and Powerful will take the belts off of MJF and Jericho whenever that tag team title match would be, and that's going to finally just have Proud and Powerful go on that long, deserved run with those belts, man. I really do. I liked your prediction with the Lucha Brothers there, Sammy. Like, I really do think the same with that. Because of what Cody answered, Cody got to answer one of my questions in the media call. Because of what he said, that he'd like to see a trios tournament, and I think they're doing a lot of things with trios. If you guys see through the looking glass of what they're kind of doing, you have like the triple team of Hangman and Reynolds and Silver that's been kind of going around. You have the Death Triangle. There's another trios team. You have Orange Cassidy with the Best Friends. There's another trios team. They have the teams to do a trios type tournament, whether it be for trios belts if they want to do that or some sort of trophy. I can see Death Triangle going into that tournament and being very dominant, if not be in the finals of that tournament. If they do something like that, that would be pretty cool. But
yeah, because if Pac and Phoenix actually do win the match, that's why I predicted Pac is going to give his spot to Pentagon, because I figured that not WWE, I mean AEW would not want to do like the Freebird rule kind of, because it kind of relates to that. But I can see Pac giving his spot to Pentagon Jr. and then the Lucha Bros will get against the Bucks. Yeah. While Pac enters the TNT title picture, and he feuds with whoever. Like if the ladder match person's gonna win or Darby's gonna retain, so that would be Pac's next feud if it does happen.
Mm-hmm. So we'll move on here and we'll talk about a very, very, very interesting. Wait.
No, because like, did I get a chance to like put my 2 cents?
I thought you did. Did you?
No, I didn't put my 2 cents in here. You just whatever. Okay. So
what do you mean?
No, because I didn't, because there was things. Obviously, I agree with you guys, right? That Sammy could interfere in this match, right? Or could the Good Brothers come and interfere in this match and cost the Young Bucks the belts? Oh, God. That's a thought too. Or right, and then can you imagine if like that MJF and Chris Jericho win, right? Sammy comes out after and then tells them that he's coming in with a mystery opponent into the Battle Royale.
Oh, if he just inserts himself in there?
Yeah, he just inserts himself into it.
Who would he come with?
Maybe Wardlow. Wardlow? I don't know, but I'm just saying that this could just go either.
Wardlow?
Why not? Screw MJF over.
Wardlow? I would be... I can't tell how I would feel about seeing that. I can't put myself in a position where I'd be like, oh.
That would definitely be an interesting thing. Like, you could have more stories piled into the match. Like, Wardlow doesn't like MJF anymore, and Sammy.
Yeah, like, he's like tired of his shit. But that's what I'm saying. This is like, even like the thought process of like, there's a million thoughts that you could go here with all the matches. That's what I like. And that's what I like about the prediction. I say every prediction show, like the possibilities are like endless here.
The Good Brothers, though.
But the Good Brothers and Young Bucks need to have this feud already, right? So it's like, do they cost them the title?
And the Bucks
right?
go over to Impact and face them for their
right.
belts.
There's a lot that could be done here that like screws all my thought process here. And I don't know. Now, this is a question for the chat. Okay. I had talked about this with Brad, and I talked about this with Metal earlier, and I was like, what I said, I feel like
we're friends of the podcast, by the way, for people that don't know.
That I think the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers, when they have this feud, do they need the tag team titles on this? I would like to see the tag team titles on the line, but I like your thought, Kyle, too, that it's like, even if they lost the belts and they go over to Impact and wrestle for the tag team
revolving door. Yeah. This revolving door doesn't just go to Japan. That would be something if the Bucks showed up on Impact. And, you know, they showed up and screwed maybe the Good Brothers in their match or something. Like, there's endless possibilities with this, which makes for great television and great storytelling. Right. Who knows what direction they'll go into? We'll know on Sunday.
You know what?
That's what I say. You could just throw everything off.
Yeah. I actually thought we were getting the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers at Revolution, because that's what it was leading to. But I think they wanna like kind of save this match, and they need the elements to like, why is this match happening? Like, it could happen at, like, let's say Double or Nothing or All Out, or maybe even Rebellion in April, like the Impact pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But there's a thing I was thinking about the other day, because like, if the Young Bucks win the Impact tag team titles off the Good Brothers, why not have the Young Bucks spend some time in Impact as the champions to build up that tag team division? Because Impact could definitely use a stronger tag team division. Like, it doesn't have to revolve around like Finjuice or the Good Brothers, the Motor City Machine Guns, and people like that. And the Young Bucks are definitely the team that could definitely help with restoring some prestige into that tag team division. Because right now, the tag team division in Impact hasn't been great since like the early 2000s. Like, I want to say after the Hardys left, because it kind of lost something there. Yeah. But that was the last time tag team wrestling really meant something in Impact Wrestling. So that's a thing I want to put out there, because I think it would be very interesting if they went with that.
I like that idea. I really do. I hope we do see that. I hope we do actually see the Young Bucks go over the Impact and work with a lot of teams over there. I think that's what you need to do. Like, yeah, we've opened the door with Impact, but all we've literally seen is Don Callis and the Good Brothers over here, and that's about it. Yeah, Private Party went over there with Matt Hardy for a few things, but, you know, that's not really a revolving door. That's like opening it up a smidge and letting a couple of people in and out. But, you know, I want to start seeing that. I want to start seeing some Impact people on Dynamite. Show us that this partnership is actually a partnership, and you're not just doing this for Kenny Omega and Don Callis. So I hope we do see a lot of that. But let's move on here. Got to talk about this. Like I said before, it's a big match. The Face of the Revolution ladder match, and this is an interesting ladder match because I wasn't aware what was going to be hanging above the ring until I listened to the podcast today with Tony Khan, and this is hilarious. So winner gets a shot at the TNT Championship, which kind of, I don't know if Tony Khan, he didn't really say it, but I don't know if he's trying to say that it's going to happen this week on Dynamite, because he did mention that if Darby is not able to compete after the street fight, I guess he kind of says, like, you know, he has to be able to compete this Wednesday on Dynamite for that TNT title. I don't know if that's going to be against the winner of the ladder match. We'll see. But this ladder match is hilarious. So we have Scorpio Sky, Archer, Pentagon Jr., Max Caster, and Cody Rhodes, and the to be announced, who is going to make a surprise at the pay-per-view. The winner wins by grabbing the brass rings hanging above the ring. And I'm like, oh my God, that is too perfect. Grabbing the brass rings. There's so much you can look into that, but it's perfect, especially when you're calling the Face of the Revolution. Again, winner receives a future TNT Championship match. The last participant will be announced as a surprise. Who do you guys think is the surprise? Before we talk about the match itself, let's discuss who we think the surprise is going to be. So I'll start with Sammy. Who do you think it's going to be?
I would have to say maybe it's going to be like a free agent signing. So why not have it be like someone like All Ego Ethan Page?
Yeah.
Yep. I seen that name floating around. That would be epic if it was Ethan Page. Tiff, you got any thoughts as to who it could be?
I mean, I love the thought of Ethan Page for it. You know, something tells me like I really hope it is like, and that was really like my pick when I started sitting here thinking about it. But something tells me that it's somebody like already that's like it's not going to be like a surprise. I think it's going to be somebody that's already.
Did you see Ethan Page's video? Please tell me you've seen that video he released.
No, he put a new one today. No, I'm like so behind on social.
The last one, I think it was a day or two ago, where he was just like an empty space and he was completely nude. It was so funny, and I'm like, oh my god. I think Ethan Page would be fun.
Maybe JD Drake.
I've heard about him
on Dark.
Yeah.
Well, he's been on Dark. I love JD Drake. So I feel like I don't really think it's gonna be a surprise or a free agent. I think it's gonna be somebody that's kind of already been floating around in AEW.
So here's my theory as to who it's going to be. And I'm going to give credit to my boy Bill Bodkins, who is a writer there, and we talk all the time in the chat in a DM. I'll give him credit here a little bit with this pick. So I think it'll be Miro will be the to be announced wrestler, and here's why. So Tony Khan on the Unrestricted podcast mentioned if Darby can't compete on the next Dynamite, that I think he said didn't he not say? Correct me if I'm wrong. Did he not say that he would have to forfeit the belt?
Yeah, he said that if Darby can't really like make it out of the street fight, then he's gonna have to forfeit the belt. But Tony did say that the TNT title match will be happening on the Dynamite after Revolution, actually. Okay. So the match will be happening there.
So this will still fall into it. So I think Miro's gonna win this ladder match too. He's gonna be the surprise pick, and he's gonna win the ladder match. He's gonna go on to Dynamite, and he's gonna win that belt, and that's gonna start Miro's reign as the TNT champion. And and you saw it in his promo this week. Miro mentioned that, everyone's been wishing to see the Miro, the unstoppable Miro, and to stop playing games and to be that Miro since he's got to Dynamite. And he says that everyone is going to get their wish. And he said it in a very intense way, speaking Bulgarian and being very, very like up and close and personal. And Bill mentioned it to me, and I caught that promo. I'm like, okay, so maybe I like this pick, and I'll credit Bill. Bill came up with this pick, and I'm like, hey, I love this. If Miro does double duty, because if he wins that match, and maybe I don't know which match would come first, that tag team match or the ladder match. Either way, that would be solid for Miro to come in and just win that thing, and then win the TNT belt and go on a reign with that belt. Because that's the Miro that everyone wants to see. They want to see that guy on TV being the destructive Miro. Can you imagine the prestige level that brings to that belt? Him just running through people, defending that championship, and then you get like a big baby face eventually to come and take that belt off of him. So I think there's an interesting path there. Maybe it doesn't happen, Maybe it does. If it doesn't happen, I would love to see a Scorpio Sky win this match, because he definitely deserves a run with the TNT belt. He's so good. We've been waiting since his break off of FCU to go on a singles run. He's had a few singles matches here and there. He actually had a TNT title shot. I think we need to see a lot more out of him and go on a singles run, so I'd love to see him as well. But I'm going to stick with my pick. I think it's going to be Miro, so I'm going to stick with that one.
Brad said in the chat, Tony said that there are 2 new people and that the big name isn't the same as the number 6 entrant.
2 new people? So there's 7?
No, 2 new people that are showing up on.
Yeah.
She's talking about what Big Show was talking about on Dynamite, because he's there's like a big free agent signing. Well, he's not going to be in the ladder match.
Tony Khan said that. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to, man. I swear to God, if Cody wins this, I swear to God, I'm going to throw the controller. Okay, I will throw the controller. Brad, you better hide the controller from me, because I'm going to Brad's house to actually watch this. But I'm going to throw the controller. I'll walk out of the house. I swear to God. I'm going to be so pissed.
I don't think he's going to win it.
He better not win it. That's all I'm saying right now. I swear to God. I can't deal with this shit. Okay. There's more deserving people on this damn match than damn Cody. I swear to God, I'm gonna be so pissed. Okay. I'm already going on. I'm so triggered right now.
Okay, but let's calm down. It's not gonna be Cody. Let's take it down a notch here.
It's not gonna be Cody. Watch it be Cody.
But okay, if
all you guys are gonna think of me if it's fucking Cody.
Okay, Tiff, but who do you think is gonna win? Let's go to that. Let's swerve away from Cody.
This is fucking hard. This is hard. I honestly, I want Scorpio Sky to win because he deserves a freaking title reign here, man. I want him. I've been saying this for the longest. He deserves the TNT championship belt. He is so good, right? I mean, I love Penta too, and I think, Penta's great, but Scorpio Sky, me personally, that's who I'm rooting for.
Okay, Sammy, what do you got? What do you got for us?
Definitely not Cody. I will. But for the longest time, I have been saying someone like Lance Archer should win because I really think he is deserving of a TNT championship run since he hasn't really held any gold in AEW. So they could possibly run that back at like maybe a double or nothing, where it's the 1 year anniversary of Lance losing to Cody. So they could have maybe Lance and Darby, and then Lance takes the belt, and it's long overdue for him. And then they can have Lance drop it to someone like Miro down the road. But I would also like to see Scorpio Sky take this one because Scorpio Sky is another guy that I really like to watch, and I think he's got a lot of potential to be a future world champion in the company someday. And him winning this match would definitely be the catalyst of him to finally start flourishing in AEW. And could you just imagine if Sky and Darby just like face off on Dynamite? Let's say Darby is injured and he goes into the championship match in a hard fought battle, and then Scorpio can pin him, and then he can become the new champion, and then Darby can shake hands with him, and then that'll be that. But if I'm going to have to choose one, it's probably going to be Lance Archer.
Okay. Yeah, Lance Archer is a good pick. I sat there looking, I'm like, okay, I really want Scorpio to win. We're not sure who the TBA is going to be, but Lance Archer is a dark horse in this match. Well, not really a dark horse, but he could easily win this match and go on a not really must, but a well-deserved title run, because I remember when he actually had his first TNT title match, I think me and Tiff, I remember Tiff, we were saying it's going to be Archer. We thought he was going to take it off. I think it was Cody. He was going to take it off Cody. And man, I can't believe Archer didn't win it at that point. So hopefully he does. If he does win here, he does get a chance with the belt. So good for our picks there. I like our picks.
Better not be Cody at Swift.
I know I won't.
I actually want to point out that, let's say, for example, this is the match that makes Cody turn to the dark side. He loses this match, and then over the next few weeks, he kind of just loses his place on Dynamite, and his confidence starts to go away. This is where Spears and FTR enter, and our good friend Kyle Prescott pointed this out last night, saying that the Four Horsemen is on its way to AEW. So they're going to offer Cody a spot to be in the Horsemen. Cody will say no at first because he swore to be a babyface forever. And then this will continue over the next couple of months until it finally happens. We get the Horsemen and we get a heel Cody finally. And that would definitely be must see. And
that
I think this will start.
Okay, good. As long as he doesn't win, because I can't deal with this shit. No, go away. Keep your 20-minute entrance, okay?
Let's move on here before Tiff explodes with Cody Moore. So we're going to move on to the big money match.
All right, let's do it.
Matt Hardy versus the Hangman Page. And I'll take this one first here with this match. And man, oh man. This has been a very good storytelling type of feud. The storytelling in this match between Dynamite, Dark, and BTE has been great because they've kept it through all three of those shows. And if you were following all three of those shows, you follow this storyline to a T. It's been fantastic. Goes back to this kind of originally got heated during the bar scene contract signing, where Matt had a contract that was great for Hangman, and while he wasn't paying attention, Hangman switches it up, and it just got heated from there. We saw a more darker side of Big Money Matt. So with this match being the Big Money match with Big Money Matt, the winner will receive the other opponent's 1 year or their first quarter earnings God, I can English. I got this for this year. So that's it's a big chunk if you think about professional wrestling. So especially Big Money Matt, who says he's all about big money.
Money.
Matt Hardy's had Private Party and a Hybrid 2 as kind of his hired goons. And the Dark Order have kind of been behind Hangman's back without kind of just blossomed into a friendship as opposed to a team. We saw, that the Dark Order offered their hand to Hangman in, I think it was a BT episode actually, saying that, we want to stop asking you to be in the Dark Order, but we want to be friends. And if you ever needed help, we'll be there to help you out. And, that friendship grew. And now Hangman's in like all these BTE skits on with the Dark Order, which are fantastic. And they've a beautiful friendship, and it's awesome to see. I'll bring up again that when Cody answered my question on the conference call about the trios tournament, it would be amazing. Wouldn't it be amazing to see Dark or Hangman Page with Silver and Reynolds run through that tournament as a trios team? Like, that would be so cool to watch. And if they ever did introduce trios belts, I would petition to have them as the first champions, because by then we're going to, even if it's still in Daly's place, the crowd will eat it up because they're so over right now. It would be such a cool moment if we ever seen that. But back to the match itself. It should be a great match. Matt Hardy is undefeated actually in pay-per-views in AEW currently, and Hangman is 4-0 in the year 2021. So we got a couple of undefeated streaks going head-to-head here. I'm going to pick Hangman Page in this match to take the W, but I wouldn't be shocked to see Matt win. So I was very, very torn on this, but I'm going to stick with my gut. My gut's telling me Hangman Page. We'll go over to Sammy here. Sammy, what do you got for us in this match?
This is actually the easiest match for me to predict.
All right.
I'm going to say Hangman takes it, because Hangman is one of the hottest wrestlers. Well, hottest, one of the hottest rising stars in wrestling. We'll put it that way, because Hangman has something about him that screams megastar, and I think that with this win over Matt Hardy, they're going to slowly elevate him into the world title picture. Yeah. And I could definitely see him challenging Kenny Omega later this year for the championship.
Yeah, we've been saying that forever on this podcast. Like, me and Tiff, we thought by now it was actually going to be, because I remember back in September, me and Tiff were saying oh man, this looks like they're building Hangman towards Kenny Omega, and we kind of predicted Revolution. But I guarantee now, looking at it, and in this time, that's a back burner thing where they're going to wait till we're back to normal to unleash that to the world, because I think that feud itself, Hangman and Kenny Omega, the payoff where Hangman is surely to take the belt off Kenny, that deserves a full crowd. That deserves a full arena crowd. That deserves a full pay-per-view crowd when that actually happens, because we know the jubilation and the crowd is going to eat that up and be an amazing moment. So yeah. I remember saying that for weeks with Tiff, so that's a great prediction. Tiff, I'm assuming you're going the same way, maybe?
Yeah, I am. I'm going the same way as you guys. I feel like it only makes sense. It's got to be the payoff of the slow build of Hangman, and now that we're slowly getting back, tickets to where people can go see it live. You're right.
Can't wait for that.
Yeah. So we're slowly getting there, but we'll get there. But
at least you guys, Canada, we're so slow up here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canada's not that
we're
great.
We're so behind.
Yeah. So, but yep, I'm with you guys.
But we'll move on. I'm very curious about this next match. Very, very curious, because I'm curious how they're going to do it. So we have the street fight between Brian Cage, Ricky Starks with Taz, Team Taz, against Sting and the TNT champion Darby Allin. Okay, interesting match. I'm not going to start by talking about this match. I'm going to take it to you guys. So Tiff, give us what you think about this match right off the bat here.
I'm ready for this shit to end too.
Tiffany.
Yeah, I agree with you that.
Wait, why are you so surprised?
I know. I was just joking.
Why?
Just teasing you.
I don't know why anybody would be surprised with my reaction with this. This has just been too.
You don't want more snow?
Yeah, too
no.
long.
Will you stop? I had PTSD with the damn snow. Stop. Damn, I'm savage today on the podcast. Seriously, I'm so over the damn snow.
I know I was gonna box you a bunch of Canadian snacks. I'm gonna box you some snow.
I have my own shit with snow here in New York. Okay, like I don't want any damn snow.
The snow will melt by the time it gets
exactly. Yeah. Okay, you do that, Kyle. All right.
I'll put it in a thermos or something.
All right, you do that. I'm gonna eat your Pop-Tarts.
I'll put some fake snow, so it's when you open the box.
Oh, it's gonna be like the white snow, like the little pop things or whatever that they throw in for the box. Yeah, shaved ice. You guys are crazy.
Anyways, Tiff, what do you got?
I'm just ready for this to end. I mean, honestly, I come on. I think you guys are with me on this. The Darby and Sting have to win this. Like they have to win this. Like just end it. Like how are you gonna have like Sting wrestle and not have him win this? That's just like my thought process of it. So that's it. I don't really have anything on it because I'm over it.
Well, I'll throw it over to Sammy. Sammy, what do you got for us in this street fight? Sammy Samster, give it to us.
I will agree with Tiffany that this has been too long and we need it to end.
Yep.
But if I had to choose, like I was originally going to say that Sting is going to put over Team Taz since they've been getting beaten down most weeks. So that's why I've been going with Team Taz. Well, I would have to say maybe Darby. Maybe they will protect Darby because I'm not sure if this match is going to be taped or if it's actually going to take place inside the ring. Mm-hmm. But I'm most likely leaning towards cinematic. But I can see them doing something like Darby is going to take most of the bumps, and at the beginning of the match, they will store Sting somewhere, and then he will be out for like 80% of the match, and then he'll come back and do a few spots, and then that'll be all Sting can do. Mm-hmm. Like Darby will do all the work, but I'm not sure really because if they want to sell Darby not being like if they want to sell Darby being injured and they want to have him defend the TNT Championship, I'm gonna have to say Team Taz is gonna go over here.
Okay.
And maybe you could have someone like Brian Cage, maybe pin someone like Sting, and then maybe Cage could be like Kenny Omega's next feud for the AEW World Title.
Okay.
Or maybe Hobbs is like the sixth entrant, and then he comes in and then takes the belt off of Darby.
You know what? Actually, I would actually like to see Will Hobbs and Kenny Omega at like Double or Nothing. They could actually really give Will Hobbs he could show everybody that he belongs in AEW and he belongs to be in the main event scene because that is something I would like to see, but I'm not sure if it'll happen, but I'm still leaning towards Cage, and that's why I'm thinking that Team Taz is going to go over.
Yeah, because we haven't really seen Hobbs, besides Dark, have a lot of matches on Dynamite, so I'd like to see that too.
But that would be, I feel like that would be the way if it's like Hobbs or somebody from like Team Taz in the ladder match. That's why I say it plays all these matches. They play with each other. I feel like so. Imagine like Hobbs did win, so then that I feel like Team Taz would have to go over.
Yeah, that's
in that match.
It's so many possibilities.
It's
But again, not a lot of news if this is going to be cinematic or not. We know it could be a mix of both. We could have a mix of both. It could start in the ring, work its way to the back, and that's where they cut into a cinematic type of scene, and then they work their way back out. Sting is medically cleared to wrestle according to the reports. We saw him take that power bomb, and he's still all right. So I think he can take a few bumps here and there. But I like what Sammy's saying that, there's probably going to be a scene where he's kind of like locked away and it's kind of like Darby, being taken against two people, which again, is going to come to this question. How much of Team Taz is going to get involved and who, if any, are going to come help Darby and Sting? Who are those people going to be? Are we going to see some run-ins like we saw in the last cinematic match with Matt Hardy? We had Gangrel and Hurricane show up. Are we going to have random run-ins like maybe former people that Sting did? Maybe they're going to bring some WCW people and they'll do some run-ins if there's going to be a cinematic part. I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of possibilities they can do with this because there's no confirmation of cinematic or not. So we'll have to wait and see. Still should be a good and entertaining match. I'm still looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what this whole Darby thing is because Tony Khan bringing that up on the Unrestricted podcast saying that, if Darby is not medically cleared to compete after the street fight, that means something. Like, what is Darby? Like, this could mean a bunch of things. Like, are they going to do an angle where Darby gets hurt? Is Darby hurt now? And this is a way to take him off television. Like, what is this playing to? There's a lot of questions here. But for some reason, I can't see Sting. His first match back on TNT I know he doesn't need to, but I can't see him taking an L here. I really don't. For some reason, my gut's telling me that him and Darby are going to prevail in this match. And I have Sting and Darby going over. Now, the question will be, will Darby make it out of this match? And we'll see what happens on Dynamite. Is he going to be stripped? Is he going to be too hurt to defend it? Or is he going to defend it, but he's going to defend it like at 50% or whatever it's going to be on Dynamite, and they're going to write him off television that way? There's a lot of questions surrounding Darby after that podcast today with Tony Khan. So I'm sticking with my gut, though. Sting and Darby for the win. And Tiff, don't worry, it'll be over after this.
Yes.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know how many more weeks of snow we're going to get with Sting. I don't know if he's going to be gone after this, but...
You know what? Both Sting and Darby actually should take a hiatus from television, especially Sting, considering we don't really need to see him every week. And him appearing every week just kind of like tarnishes his appeal a little bit, because you know how Sting is the guy that like... He appears once in a while because it leaves everyone guessing when is he going to show up, because he doesn't need to be on TV every single week. And I think that if he does, like maybe if he does or doesn't, then Sting will definitely be like, they could save him for something else. Maybe just take him off TV a couple weeks because he could for sure need it. And then you could have Darby like be off TV as well if you're indeed going to write him off losing the TNT Championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If Darby's continuing after this, I'm all for them keeping Sting around to do the vignettes, because the vignettes with him and Darby, if they're going to do the stuff we saw in last week's vignette where like Sting was driving the car and Darby was in the body bag, shit like that, I'm all for. Like, please give me more of those vignettes if you're going to keep Sting around with Darby after this, because I'm all for watching those on TV. Like, those are fantastic. So we'll see what happens. Again, there's a lot of questions surrounding this. This has been a great pay-per-view prediction so far because there's so many questions, and it's good. When it's predictable, it's not good.
Yes.
So next we'll talk about the women's world championship match. Hikaru Shida versus Ryo Mizunami, winner of the AEW the women's tournament there. So we got a Joshi match on AEW Revolution cards. We have two Joshi style wrestlers. #Watch Stardom. Shoutouts to our boy JPQ. This was built through the AEW Women's Tournament. Obviously, I thought the tournament was done very well. I do still think I would have liked to see Britt Baker though win this. I think the trigger was supposed to be pulled on her. This was a very, very interesting tournament when it comes to the decisions made, because they made a few decisions, I think, in the semi and the finals where I'm like, okay, why did you do this if this happened? Like, it was like, why did Nyla Rose make it to the finals? Like, why did she run through Riho and Thunder Rosa just to lose to Mizunami? I know there's a story there of putting Mizunami over, and she's an exceptional talent, but the story was Britt Baker, should have been Baker and Thunder Rosa to meet each other in the finals because of that feud they've been having and them fighting over the spot to go and face Mizunami. And then, I would have loved to see Baker move on. Or if it was Rosa. I think Rosa even going to the finals, because they've been showing her on TV every damn week here. Why is it not Baker or Rosa going to the finals and facing Shida at Revolution? Like, I'm not trying to shit on Mizunami here, because she is a great piece of talent. She is a great signing that they have on the roster. Alongside Yuka Sakazaki and Riho. Like, these three Joshi girls, and then I'll include Shida in there, they are exceptional pieces of talent. Not knocking them at all, but I don't like the decision of Mizunami going to the finals. It's going to be a good match, but the story was there with Rosa and Baker as one of them to go to the finals. So very, very questionable decision with that. I even thought her Mizunami and Nyla Rose's match was great. That was probably one of Nyla Rose's best match in AEW. That was a great match yesterday. So again, should be a great match, but again, it kind of left this open to now it's more predictable. There's no way Mizunami's taking the title off of Shida. It's not happening. There's no story there. There's no reason for her to take the title off Shida. You need a story to be able to take that women's title belt off of Shida. It wouldn't make sense Mizunami winning here. So Shida's going to retain. It's sure to be a good match. The Joshi style, I'm all for it. So we'll see what happens. But Tiff, what do you got for us with this one?
Oh my God, this is going to be one of the matches of the night. I feel like it's going to be that good. So I'm really excited for it. And I kind of sat and thought about this too. For a while, this was one of the matches that I was trying to figure out. Like, I'm really confused. And I always go back to who really is believable to take the belt off of somebody, whether it's the main belt, the tag team belts. I always go through this process all the time when I think about predictions. But the question is Rio, is she gonna be like in the States full time?
That's
because
what I mean.
that
We don't know.
changes everything of my thought process here.
Kenny Omega is actually very high on Ryo Mizunami, so there's definitely a chance that she's coming to AEW full time now. So I actually heard that she's in the process of moving to the United States, and all the tournament matches were filmed in advance, and she's been in the US for quite a while now.
Okay.
So we could definitely see her.
Good hiding.
Every week now.
Some good hiding then, right?
I mean, I feel like this is my thought process. If she's staying in the States full time, then Sheeta's losing the belt. That's my thought process. No. Yes, I do.
Even if she's here full time, there's no way. There's no story. It doesn't make sense. People would shit Kyle, all over
it's like getting stale now. We've been so hyped on Sheeta, you and me, right? For like the longest, right? We've been like one of the hugest fans for this, right? But I feel like it's getting stale, and I feel like the women's like title like means nothing now because it's like she hasn't even been defending it. Like it's just.
But wouldn't it mean more if Baker or Rosa is the next to take the title off? It doesn't mean anything if they take it off Mizunami. It does not mean anything.
So I'm going with the pick of Sheeta retaining here, right? Mm-hmm. Because like that, I feel like you do. I feel Britt Baker needs to take this belt off of her. You built Britt Baker for the longest. Okay. I do still think we're going to have this
Sheeta the longest.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But now we're going this with Britt, but I feel like it's getting stale now with Sheeta being the champion right now. It would be great for us to have the new champ on Sunday, but I don't think it's gonna happen like until like if it's like 100% confirmed that she's gonna be here like every week, then I'd be like Sheeta's losing the belt, but I don't think she's losing the belt this weekend. I just don't.
Nope. Mizunami just again Baker and whoever it may be, Rosa or maybe Riho. It means more when there's a story to take the belt off. If they're gonna be the first, if they're gonna win their first ever belt, I'd rather have them do it in a storyline feud, not just a transitional change. It doesn't make sense for me. Like a Mizunami and a Baker match a month from now doesn't do anything for me. So
it's.
But so Sam, hard. What do you got for us? What do you think of this match?
I'm honestly gonna go with Sheeta retaining the belt because I'm not sure, because I've also questioned the booking decisions that they've made in the tournament. So here's my theory here. So I'm going to go with Sheeta retaining the belt. And as I alluded to earlier in my other prediction, let's say Hikaru Shida feuds with Deonna Purrazzo next. Like Deonna's going to be sticking around on Dynamite, and then it leads to a main event match on Dynamite between Purrazzo and Shida for the women's championship. Sheeta can retain that, and then they could start the Sheeta and Baker storyline, because I feel that Baker and Sheeta needs a big, like a big build, because they go way back ever since like May, I believe, April or May. I'm not sure.
Broken nose. Yeah.
Full circle.
So they could do Baker and Sheeta at Double or Nothing, and then Baker takes the belt, and then. You know, Baker, they built up Britt Baker for quite a while, and I think she's that person to build the whole division around. Her, Thunder Rosa, Riho, and a bunch of other girls, and they're supposed to be like a core of like maybe 6 or 7 girls that you want to like build your entire division around. So I'm going with Sheeta retaining here, and who knows what Sheeta's next feud will be, and then Britt, unless if they want Britt to take the belt from Sheeta on a special Dynamite. And if that match happens then, they should main event the show.
Yeah.
Okay. It would definitely make a statement there that those women can definitely put on a great match, and most importantly, they could definitely draw. And Britt Baker's been that girl who's been attracting a lot of those viewers, and having her as the champion would definitely make things even better for the women's division.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what they do going forward. I like the prediction of at Double or Nothing, Britt Baker and Sheeta. It makes sense storyline wise. It's a year, almost a year in the making. Britt's been doing other stuff, and she was injured for the longest time too. But I mean, a year from then, like they're gonna look back on it a year from now, saying that, from that spot, sorry, I can't even talk English. A year before then, so in May 2019, the whole Britt Baker breaking her nose thing, thanks to Sheeta, like they can play a lot into that feud based on their history. So it should be Baker to take it off Sheeta. I mean, this would have been a good place to. I think no one would have mind if Baker and Rosa made it there, and then they face each other. Britt Baker getting over on Rosa again. Rosa now going back to NWA because they're coming back. She goes back over there, comes back later time when she's done doing stuff over there, and then Baker sends off to the finals and beats Sheeta, and she gets her run with the title belt finally. She's been groomed for this championship. It's going to happen whether it was going to be here or at Double or Nothing. It kind of sounds like I like Sam's prediction. All roads kind of point towards Baker taking the belt off. I would like it Double or Nothing as well. So we will see what happens. Again, they'll get some more of the woman that they have in Japan. Like Yuka Sakazaki still's got to come over. She's under contract with AEW. So is Emi Sakura. I guarantee they're going to make a big play for Maki Ito because she's a massive star over there and she's getting such a big following from this tournament with the fans over here. They need to throw all kinds of money at Maki Ito and get her ass over here because she is an incredible piece of talent and can be a big star in this division. So I hope that happens eventually. But other than that, before we get into the main event, we forgot to talk about one thing because I want to know what you guys think because this is the big talk. This is the big talk of the town all freaking day today. Wrestling Twitter has been talking about this nonstop. I've been putting out posts for it. I've been talking about it nonstop. Paul White is going to be making the announcement in the middle of the ring as to AEW's new signee, multi-year contract, Hall of Fame worthy talent. Who do you guys think it is? Tiff, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think it is? I know you have no idea, but give us a guess.
I honestly, I can't. I'm blank. I blank. And it's like, I just like shake my head at like the thoughts that go on social, the things that I see. I'm like, God, no.
Who do you think is going to be though?
Because the only thing I think, honestly, like I hope it's somebody from like WCW because like I hate being stuffed with people that I don't want to see from WWE. So and I didn't even watch WCW, but I'm just like hoping because it's like I don't want to see Ryback. Okay,
it's not Ryback. Stop it. Hall of Fame worthy.
Like I'm. No, but this is the things that I've been seeing there. It's like I can't. Like my head just hurts just thinking about it. So honestly, I can't even come up with a guess for you. Like honest to God, like I try to think about it, like I can't. So
The Undertaker.
Sam, stop. I'm out. I'm out. Bye. Like okay. I'm out. All right. Now.
I'll throw it over to Sam.
Watch as Kyle predicts this right, and it's The Undertaker, and he's going to make his entrance as the Mordekan. He's going to bring in Mordecai and Kazarni to replace the entire Dark Order, and Evil Uno becomes Evil Cinco. They will be known as
Evil Cinco.
The Dark Order.
I'm done.
They could even make tiers. They could even make top-level tiers of the Dark Order. They could go the Dark Order, the Darker Order, or the Darkest Order.
The Darkest Order. the blackest of the Night Order.
Here,
I'm dead.
There's actually a bunch of names that have been thrown around, and it's definitely not Ryback, because who could even consider him a Hall of Fame worthy talent when they didn't even do anything?
Yeah, no.
Like,
I can't.
I don't know, but if I had to say one, because this name has been thrown around quite a few times, but I'm actually going with the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's a good talent to have. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying that he's going to come in and have match after match with people we want to have a match with. I don't even know how many matches he's got left in him. The guy's been so banged up his entire career. He could be just brought in as a coach, as a mentor, as a hand to have. You can't be a wrestling company and not want Kurt Angle backstage as a mentor or a coach or someone in your training gym. Like, the guy has so much or so many accolades that he is a great hand to have with your young talent to learn the business. That's why Paul White's there. He's there to even teach the bigger guys the way of the business as a big wrestler. They're not just here to, guys, this is not WWE. They're not coming in here and getting world title matches at the next pay-per-view right away. It's not happening. This is a different company. And it sucks because some people are stuck in that mentality because of that company. And they're stuck in that mentality and think that's all that's going to happen and shit on AEW because of it. And it's not. So Kurt Angle, if he does sign a multi-year contract with the company, I'm all for it. I'm okay with that because I know that Tony Khan is not bringing him in here to steal the spotlight away from all the young talent and to win the titles and do all that nonsense. So in saying that, I've seen a lot of predictions out there. I've seen CM Punk is the big name. Okay, I'd love for it to be CM Punk. I would mark out, not going to lie. It'd be a massive mark for that. But Big Show. Paul White did say it's not who we think. Obviously, CM Punk is who we all think, so it's not CM Punk, right? You put 2 and 2 together.
I don't think it would be Punk anyway, considering like why would he return in front of like 1,000 fans when there should be a bigger arena for it?
That's what I mean. I don't think it would be, if it was him, it would be an announcement signing. He wouldn't be there. Paul White would just announce it. He'd send a video in. That's the only way it would happen. He would send a video in saying that he's going to make his return at All Out, and they're going to say then and there All Out is going to be in Chicago. They're going to plan for that, and that's when he's going to make his return. You know, he got that gap for getting back into ring shape. They can do promos, whatever. That's the only way it's going to happen, which is not going to happen. Saying that again. People are saying Christian. It's not Christian. The guy is, I think, I'm almost certain, signed part-time with the WWE.
Yeah, he's on the contract.
Yeah, so I don't know why people are saying Christian. I've seen people say Batista. Batista had to fucking come out today and say that, you know, I'm retired. I'm not coming back to wrestling. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I'm retired. It's not going to be Batista. It's not going to be Brock Lesnar. People saying Brock Lesnar. Are you serious? You don't think that Vince McMahon is going to sit there with his checkbook and hand it to Brock Lesnar and say, here, whatever they're offering you, you can double it. Write your own numbers here. And he's going to do it. Brock's not coming to AEW. Guys, stop with that. So I like Kurt Angle. I like that pick. Honestly, I don't know who the hell it's going to be. I saw a cool pic of AJ Lee, and I tweeted about it. I'm like, that's left field. AJ Lee maybe wants to get back in the wrestling business. She is a great wrestler. She could be a catalyst in the division. She can be put into it. That would be something. Who knows who it can be? We'll find out on Sunday. That's all we have to say. Who knows? Let's just stop guessing. We'll find out when we find out. That's it. That's all it is. So we'll move on to the main event. Moxley, Omega.
Yeah.
Exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW World Championship. I never would have thought that the day would come where I would say we're having a death match in AEW, and sure enough, we're here. Tiff, I got one question for Tiff in particular. Big question for Tiffany here.
Yes.
Do you think we will finally get light tubes in this match?
Please. Wait, let's sit here. Let's pray to the light tube gods. Dear light tube gods, please.
Because you know what, there's gonna be the light tubes in the match, and this is all Tiffany's going to think about when she sees the.
Yes, I swear to God, I will take footage of myself if there's light tubes, okay? Because my prayers will be answered because I need some damn light tubes in my life. Like, please.
Even when you see the light tubes in the ring, you could even just think about the sound they make.
It's spooky dust. It's the spooky dust. It's the beautifulest thing ever. Like, please give me light tubes. I know we're not gonna get light tubes.
So people that don't know, Tiff's a big indie watcher, and she watches a lot of independent, like hardcore matches, and light tubes are a big thing, especially in GCW. Tiff loves the light tubes. She's the queen of the light tubes, so she's hoping for it in this match.
God, I got a new nickname. Add it to the list, Kyle.
Queen of the light tubes.
Queen of the light tubes.
Queen of the light tubes.
Other than that, this match itself is literally almost 2 years in the making, right? This is started all the way back to Double or Nothing 2019 when Moxley showed up. And, you know, he came out and he paradigm shifted Jericho, but then he, you know, the whole thing with Omega, then it kind of fast forwarded it through the summer on the first Dynamite, which I was there live for, which was incredible. They had that big moment at the end where like Omega got paradigm shifted through the glass table. Like, this has been a build up since Double or Nothing 2019. This is a 2 year in the making match. This feud has been one of the best ones in AEW. I still think this is going to continue for a long time. We might get the end of the road here for right now, but this is, I think, is going to be AEW's feud, that a go back to feud, kind of like I mentioned to Tiff, like a Ciampa and Gargano, where they can go back to, and there's that history, like a throughout the Rock and Stone Cold, like a few that you're going to go back to.
Kevin Owens and Sammy, like it's one of those feuds that.
But this is going to be like the end road for now. What we do know though is confirmed this week by Tony Khan on the Unrestricted podcast that the ropes are going to be replaced with barbed wire. So we're going to get the legit, like without ropes. It's going to be just barbed wire type of barbed wire death match. No word yet on what the hell the landmines mean. I remember them mentioning landmines. Don't know what the hell that still means. Or what this Moxley Chamber of Death thing that Don Callis said they're building. I'm so intrigued to see what this looks like. This is going to be hilarious.
I actually seen people mention that the chamber, like the thing they're building, it actually might be in the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium, which is right next to Daly's place. Oh. So maybe that's where the match happens.
Man, if they have they've done it before with the Stadium Stampede, where they put the ring in the middle of the field. They could do a lot of things over there, but I don't know. I don't know if they packed the house for Daly's place, right? they packed that thing. Like they sold over. They got close to the 30%. Allowance. Like Tony Khan made some moves, so I don't know if that's going to take away from that crowd. I don't know if they're going to be happy or not to watch that on the screen. It'd be cool, not going to lie. Like they can do a lot of things in that stadium. Or maybe, they make their way out of the ring and there's something set up in the stadium and they come back to the ring eventually. But the big thing is here, there's been lots of footage been circulating around about exploding barbed wire death matches. I saw a video of I think it was Maki Ito taking a exploding barbed wire bat shot. So she's kind of experienced that. I think it was her. So that's interesting. I've seen that. I've seen the Terry Funk match with actually the guy appeared. I'm pretty sure the guy appeared on Dynamite this week, and I forget his damn name.
Atsushi Nita.
Yeah.
Actually, well, they wanted him to referee this death match, and originally, this idea actually came from FMW, which was a death promotion in Japan. And if you haven't seen the death matches that like Freedoms does or like GCW and stuff like that, it may certainly be like that. Mm-hmm. And Onita was actually on Dynamite this week. People thought he was going to be refereeing the match, but he said the pandemic prevented that. But he will be watching the match for sure. Mm-hmm. And he should definitely be involved some way or another, but he will be watching for sure.
I don't know if I remember if it was him and Terry Funk, but Terry Funk faced someone in this barbed wire. Okay. No, it was someone else. I don't know who it was. I thought it was Onita, but it was, if I can find it, I'll DM you, Sam. It was an exploding barbed wire death match. And basically the only time the barbed wire exploded is when someone got Irish whipped into them. And then, man, it was ever gruesome. The one shot I saw of whoever Terry Funk was facing, when it exploded, you saw the black spark marks on the person's back. And I'm like, oh my God, are we in for this? For AEW's match? Like, are we getting full-on death match here? Or are we going to get we got the unsanctioned match at Full Gear, which me and Tiff were there live. It was awesome to watch. They did a lot of things. There was that big barbed wire table, and then they lifted the mat up, and they did the whole spot like on the wood finish. Like, what are we getting out of this match?
Are you guys familiar with some of the stuff that CZW used to do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about my girl, Casey Patel? Can we talk about her with Jimmy Lloyd?
Are we going to get to that point? Like, is AEW going to break that barrier and do that stuff? Or is this going to be AEW style of death match?
I honestly don't think they will, because CZW is like, it's not wrestling, but it's just they legit try to kill each other, but it's actually not a match. But
hey, John Moxley knows all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moxley was in CZW, and so was Brody. Even AJ Styles at one point.
Yep, there was a lot of people that even John Silver, Alex Reynolds were in CZW. There was like the long list of people that was in CZW. Yeah. That's my point. Is AEW going to do something like that, or is it going to be their version? You have to go full board with this, okay? Like, you have to. Like, it's so funny because like Kyle, like when we went and watched Kenny and Moxley at Full Gear, even Kyle wasn't ready for it. There was a lot of people that didn't like it, but then there's so many people that do love it. I absolutely love it. If you're going to do it, go all the way. That's all I'm going to say. Go all the way. So I better see a damn light tube during this. Okay? I better see it.
I'm going to go with my boy, though. I'm picking Kenny Omega for the win here to obviously retain the belt And again, the story, like we said before, is eventually facing off against Hangman, so it only makes sense for Moxley to hold the belt. We're still going to get great wrestling. Two of the best guys in the game when it comes to wrestling and mat wrestling, so we're going to get that mix of that with the hardcore stuff. So, Tiffany, why are you playing the podcast? Come on, like, what are you doing?
Because I just want everybody to hear
Tiffany. Anyways, so I'm going with Omega. Sammy, what do you got in this match?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go with Omega retaining the belt here because like I originally thought that Kenta was gonna take the U.S. belt from Moxley, and if that was the case, this could have been the match where Moxley gets written off until somewhere like All Out. Because they're gonna want that triumphant return for him, and they may want to sell the effects of the barbed wire death match. Maybe you can't have Kenny compete for a couple of weeks, or you can't have Moxley compete for a couple of months, maybe.
Okay.
Whatever the case may be, Omega's going to go over, and I think they're going to have Moxley continue to defend the belt in Japan because New Japan actually values him very much, which is why they made a surprising decision for him to go over Kenta. But if Moxley's going to drop the belt to a person, I'm going to say it's either Suzuki or Zack Sabre Jr. And I really like both, but those are the only two options in my opinion. But here in AEW, Omega's definitely going to go over, and we won't see Moxley on AEW programming for the next couple of months. And Tony did say that this will be the final match between both of them for the foreseeable future. So it only makes sense for Kenny to go over here.
Yeah, and Moxley, man, they love him over there. He's like one of the main reasons why there's this partnership. So they're definitely getting the value in him and him going over there to defend that belt. And then New Japan just announced that big wrestle show that they're doing. I think it's in May or June. They're calling
it's in May and June because one of them's taking place at Yokohama Arena, and then the other one's at Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So I'm sure Moxley will be part of that in some capacity and I'm assuming if he doesn't lose the belt by then, he'll defend the belt in one of those, if not both.
Also, the Wrestle King, not the Wrestle King, but the Tokyo Dome show is on the same day as Double or Nothing.
Interesting. Okay.
Same day as Double or Nothing.
So we also forget that Renee's also pregnant. So do we think that
true.
Moxley's gonna be like away too?
Gotta be daddy.
Yeah, and then I'd love like Jay White to come over to Dynamite and take the belt away from Moxley, but that's just me, and these are the things that I like about all my husbands. But that's
you just want to see Jay White.
How many husbands do you have?
Oh, she got tons. You know that long list that Jericho had in WCW?
That's all my husband.
Yeah,
that's
all my husband.
Hot here. Ooh, okay. Anyway.
But who do you got for this match, Tiff?
Well, Kenny, obviously. Just feel like, I can't see it going the other way. I mean, I would like Moxley to have the belt again, but, he's going to be a daddy. So I just don't, it's just not going to happen. So Kenny retains here.
Should be great, though. But that wraps it up, guys. We're at the end here. We predicted the whole pay-per-view. Thank you very much if you guys are watching live here on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook Live, wherever you're watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you are watching back, thank you for watching back. Make sure you're hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and making sure you leave us your comments down below. We like to respond with you guys. And also, if you're an audio listener, thank you for downloading the episode. We love all you. If you're an Apple Podcast listener, make sure you're leaving us a generous 5-star rating. Let us know your comments, what you guys think of this podcast and the other wonderful podcasts we offer here on the No Holds Barred Network. Like to thank our special guest today, Sam, for coming on to this predictions panel today. Sam, this was wonderful. You're welcome to come back anytime. So thank you very much for coming on today.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah. And Tiffany, you got any important announcements coming up? Anything new? Any upcoming interviews?
Monday we have an interview. Actually, we're doing double dosage Monday. So I'm going to be doing Under the Ropes with Vanity at 3:30 Eastern time. And then I think me and Kyle are going to do our review, right?
Yes. We're going to do the review of Revolution on Monday night. So you guys look out for that tweet. Make sure you're following us on all our social medias on Facebook or liking us on Facebook at All Elite Podcast, on Twitter and Instagram at All Elite Pod. You can find us on there. That is how you spell it. That's how you can find us on there and follow us on the socials. And going to give a shout out to Darren from This Wolf for letting us use the song Dead to Me. It is our official theme song of the podcast. You hear it in the beginning there. Thank you, Darren, each and every single week for letting us use that theme song. It is really much appreciated. We love you, man. Thank you very much. That's going to wrap it up, guys, on this episode of the All Elite Podcast, our Revolution predictions right here on the No Holds Barred Network. I'm your host, as always, your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, always joined by my co-host. She's the EVP Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, the Queen of the Indies, and the Queen of the Light Tubes herself. That's Tiffany, and obviously our third guest today, Sam. Guys, you can follow his social media. I'll put it down in the description below for you guys to follow. Great stuff. He tweets all the time, and they're amazing tweets. He's a good follow in the wrestling community, so props to you, Sam, for that, and guys, go follow him on that. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in live. We will see you guys back here on Monday for the Revolution review show. Take it easy.